Let's go live. Let's go live. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come. Look. Happy Monday, y'all. It's been so long since we were live. If you missed it, we were just live recapping the Real Housewives of Potomac. There were lots of really great opinions and thoughts on last night's episode of the Real Housewives of Potomac. So be sure to check that out. And don't forget, you can hear the audio versions of our live recaps and additional special episodes, like when we talked about Mariah Carey, when we talked recently about the Cat Williams situation. Be sure to subscribe to the Kempire podcast on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And while you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. For those that are listening to us on Spotify, you have to listen for a certain amount of time before you can give a rating, and you should rate from your app on your phone. Just in case, for those that haven't been able to rate us on Spotify, please let me know if there have been any issues. Shout out to everyone in live chat. It's been a while since I've asked you guys, where are you watching from? I like to know because, we're going on tour. Kempire After Dark, coming to a city near you. New York City, you're up first. Of course you're up first. January 25th at Green Room 42. Tickets are selling fast. I keep telling you guys, I know as we get closer and closer to the date, this is when people start buying their tickets. Don't be outside the club. Don't be mad outside the club. Get your tickets today. Some meet and greet tickets are still available, but not a lot. Not a lot. So be sure to get your tickets today. And DMV area, we're coming to Washington, D.C. at Union Stage on February 16th. That's a great Valentine's Day gift to give to your partner or to yourself. You don't have to come with a partner, though. It's not one of the... I'm single, too. Look. It's not that kind of show, but I do want to see you guys dress up for the show. Please do not come dressed down. Look, no pressure. But this is Kempire After Dark, so feel free to dress sexy. Feel free to dress dress up your pajamas, especially for Valentine's Day weekend. Okay, wear something sexy. Look, wear something sexy. I mean, it's not gonna do anything for me, especially if you're a woman. But I can still appreciate beauty. So dress sexy, do all the things, even if please, shout out to those of you that have bought tickets just for yourself. Because there's quite a few of you that just bought one ticket. I love that. I love the fact that you can come out and be with yourself. I'm big on doing stuff by myself. I just came from Japan, traveling by myself, with myself, I should say. So I look forward to mentioning more cities, so stay tuned for that. But yes, tickets are now available. If you want direct links, head on over to the description of the video or episode if you're listening to this. Okay? All right. And see, NYCMP says, I will be there solo. Love that. Love that. Please understand, even if you come solo, you're not really solo. You're with us. You're with us. Our community around the country, we're going to be coming together during these live shows. So feel free to come on your own because you're not really on your own. All right? Everyone will be able to chit chat. We're going to converse. We're going to have a good time. Kempire After Dark. Tickets available right now. But this is our Married to Medicine recap. There's a lot that happened when I was away. If you are a member of the channel, I told you when I went live, we did a special members only live from Japan. And I told you I did a whole video talking about Dr. Jackie's apology that I was not able to release because something was going on. Something was going on in regards to that video, but it would not let me put it out. So I never put out my video, my long form video talking about Dr. Jackie and her apology. But we have to talk about it now because of what she says in the last night's episode about accountability. Okay. All right, so we have to talk about that. We've got to talk about the absence of Quad. Did you feel it? How would you rate Married to Medicine's episode this week? Was it good? Was it interesting? I have to say it wasn't my favorite episode this season, but I still love Married to Medicine. And I'm not one of those people that believes that Quad is, if Quad leaves the show, that the show is. I'm not one of those people. I don't believe that. We've had seasons, especially these last couple of seasons, where we haven't really had a lot of Quad. Okay, so I'm okay. I'm okay so far without Quad, But we have to talk about this episode. So let's get into our recap of Married to Medicine, Season 10, Episode 8.
Baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse. You make a fire. I'll add the fuel. Follow me, lead it. Just watch the shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like the video, be sure to subscribe, and if you're listening to this, be sure to subscribe to the Kempire podcast on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. And while you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. And for more information on our Kempire After Dark show dates that have been announced, be sure to check out the description along with more information on our P.O. box, our other ways that you can support the channel. All that information will be available in the description. So Married to Medicine. Married to Medicine. How would you rate last night's episode? It wasn't my favorite episode of the season, but I'm still enjoying these ladies. Am I enjoying Phaedra yet? No. But then I realized it's only episode 8. I'm going to give her grace. I'm giving NECA grace on Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm going to give her grace. And I feel like the ladies are scared of her. Like Toya backing down from Phaedra during that little conversation that they had while they were in Napa. I was like, I think Toya has sort of like, I don't want Quad to come back, so I'm going to embrace Phaedra. I feel like that's the reason why she's embracing Phaedra. But Phaedra hasn't really offered anything. She's not willing to really show her life. Then why are you on reality television, Phaedra? Like, why are you on reality television? Because it's easy money for you? Because they will allow you to come on the show and not show your real life? We'll get back to Phaedra. So at the top of the episode, we have Dr. Jackie and Heavenly discuss Quad being kicked off the island. All right? And Jackie brings up that you seemed to really hurt Heavenly when talking about how Quad used you. Honestly, I felt that hurt for Dr. Heavenly because it was very clear that Quad was using Dr. Heavenly in order to, stay on the show. And Heavenly was more than willing to help Quad, as you remember a couple of seasons ago when Quad wasn't on the show, when she didn't have a great relationship with the other ladies. So she was like, I'm going to bring Quad around. She thinks Quad is great for the show. Look, Quad was good for the show. Look, ain't no way says Quad left Married to Medicine years ago. Yeah. If Sister Circle had really popped off and did well for Quad would not be on the show anymore. And if she did, it was because of the money. It's good money over at Bravo. At least it was. I think if you sign up for one of these reality shows now, it's not as good as it used to be in the heyday. All right? So Foxy says, I like Phaedra. And Foxy, it's okay to like Phaedra. Am I liking Phaedra? No. Deborah says, I liked Phaedra. I don't mind her at all. But that's the thing. She's not offering anything. So no one's sort of like, oh, Phaedra. No. She allegedly, she demanded a big paycheck. And that's why she didn't return to Real Housewives of Atlanta, but they found it in their budget to bring, they got rid of what's her name? Anila and Dr. Contessa just to pay Phaedra, allegedly. And she offers us nothing, but that's me. Look, some of you are like, I don't mind her. Yeah, because if it was all relied on Phaedra to carry the show, you would be disappointed. You'd be like, Phaedra's not giving me anything. But that's my opinion anyways. Look, that's my opinion. So, but Dr. Jackie and Heavenly talk about Quad, and this leads to a conversation about um, Heavenly being used by Quad to be on this show. Heavenly talked about having to leave early because Alora is graduating, and then they start talking about her relationship with Alora and things like that. Okay, so they're still in Napa. I know it feels like they've been in Napa and Austin on Potomac for forever, but I think it's because we had the two week break. So that's why it feels like, damn, we're still in Napa, even though they're having a good time in Napa. They're having a good time. Toya planned a good trip, if she planned it. I don't know if this was all her planning, but regardless, it's a good trip. They have a lot of different activities. All right. So the ladies are gathering together. First of all, Dr. Alicia comes dressed. I don't know where she was going, but she came very dressed, not for the activities. So they're going to do like the spa treatments, like the mud bath. Have you guys ever done a mud bath? I've never done one. I didn't realize that they smell like manure. Are you really getting in a mud bath that smells like manure? I probably would do it because you could take a shower. If it's good for the skin, I'll do anything for good skin. Look, y'all know I take care of this skin, but I also take care of the body skin. People forget about your body. People forget to moisturize and cleanse. And you know how you get a facial for your face and you do all exfoliation? I do that for my body. I started that late in life, though. So if you're in your 20s listening to this, start now so you can maintain your skin. You know what I mean? I do all of that stuff. But I do it more now than ever. Don't wait till you get to your big age and to start taking care of your skin, especially your face. Sunscreen, all that. Where are we going? Oh, the mud baths. I've never done a mud bath, though. But if it's good for the skin, then I'll do it. If it's good for the skin, I will do it. If it's good for your health, I will do it. I don't know about the smell part. I'm very sensitive to smells. Like, that would bother me. You know what I mean? Like, look, you know, like, I don't know if I could do that. I probably would do the mineral bath. That might be more my speed. All right? Kalani says I moisturize my whole body. You know, a lot of men don't. Do you know that? This is, again, heterosexual men. This is why you need gay friends. Because we will tell you. I mean, your girl's going to tell you, too. Just like, damn, you scratched me in the bed. Did you not put some moisturizer on? Just saying. All right. We have digressed. All right. So the ladies are gathering. Some of them are going to do the mud baths and mineral baths and things like that. And then some are going to do the tuk-tuk experiences. We have to remember, this trip is where they kicked Quad off. So now they're sort of like reacting to Quad being kicked off the trip and like, where do we stand with everyone else? So they're all getting together. When they get together in Toya's room, Sweet Tea comes and Sweet Tea opens up the champagne bottle with her bare hands. I've never seen. Well, I'm not surprised that Sweet Tea would do that with her bare hands. And Simone was like, damn, I guess Dr. Gregory likes it rough. Is that what you're doing with his? You know what? I mean, look, I'm not surprised by Sweet Tea. Okay, I'm not surprised at all by that. She was like, I've never seen anyone, man or woman, open a champagne bottle with their bare hands. I've never seen it. Or maybe I have. But not like how Sweet Tea did it. The way Sweet Tea did it, she said, I was like, oh, okay. All right. I mean, look, I like Sweet Tea in a way. I'm not sure. I mean, I like her as an addition to Married to Medicine. I don't know if she's the MVP of the season, but I mean, there's been a lot of conversation around her and her being a part of the show. And yes, I did see the clip of Sweet Tea and Dr. Heavenly getting into it on social media. We're going to talk about it. Vicky, hey, Vicky, where you been, Vicky Torres? She says, manhandled it. She really did. But she's a little rough, Sweet Tea. She's a little rough around the edges. Mr. Melanie Magic says, well, she is country. And I like it. I don't want her to change. You know how Dr. Heavenly's like, oh, she'll change. She needs to do this. No, I don't want Sweet Tea to change unless she wants to change. I like her just the way she is. Just the way, this look good. This look nice. I like it. I like it. A lot of these women are a little too self-absorbed, too self-aware on reality television. Sweet Tea's like, this is me. And you gonna accept it. Just saying. Just saying. Okay. Let me take a sip. All right. So they end up heading to their separate situations. Some are going to the mud baths, and some are going on this tuk-tuk ride. This tuk-tuk, I've never seen. Like, I've been around the world. I've been to India where I've been in tuk-tuk. I ain't seen a tuk-tuk like this before. I guess this is the American version of a tuk-tuk. Nice, though. So they go on their separate things. Phaedra was late. Mind you, I didn't even realize Phaedra was gone. That's how much of a non-mother factor Phaedra has been this season. I was like, oh yeah, where is Phaedra? I didn't even notice. I didn't even care. But that's me. All right? So Phaedra comes in, and this is why I don't really love Phaedra. Phaedra is so cringy. She's like, I got diarrhea. Look, I got diarrhea. And then she's making all these faces. Oh, it's like, and then she's describing what it feels like and what's going on. I'm like, how? First of all, Phaedra is not 13 years old. Okay? She's not some teenager. She's a grown woman, 50-something-year-old woman talking like this. I'm just like, what are you saying right now? Like, ew. Like, I don't mind you talking about diarrhea, but it's the way she talked about it. So that's why she said, sorry, y'all. Oh yeah, Sharon. Shout out to Sweet Tea. I forgot Sweet Tea was in the Air Force. All right. So, yeah. So Phaedra ends up coming with them. All right, but she was late because of situations. Someone said Gums needs to go. I know who you're talking about, and that's so wrong. Okay, that's so wrong. All right. So some of the ladies do the mud baths and the mineral baths. So they get in there. That's when they find out it actually does have a smell to it. It actually has a smell to it. I didn't realize the mud baths had a smell to it that smelled like manure. I said that I might do it just for the skin purposes. However, that smell might get to me. I might not be able to do it. I don't know if I could even be in the room with the mineral water smelling that. How's that supposed to be relaxing? Even poor Toya, she gets into, she's like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. But I wonder what your skin feels like once you're done. I always digress. I need to focus. That's not what the episode's about. But, well, I guess, look. All right. So Phaedra says that she's very conscious of what she puts into her vajayjay. All right. So she's like, I'm not getting into that mud bath. All right. She then talks more about her vajayjay, and she's like, well, I've never tasted it, but other people have, and they've said it tastes good. Okay. I don't doubt that, but I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? Oh my gosh, Mama Allie says, come to Wisconsin, Kempire, and you smell that everywhere. Manure? Look, okay. That's not really making me want to come, but all right. So Dr. Alicia is talking a little bit more about her relationship with Kema. All right. I didn't realize Kema is Nigerian. I knew he was Nigerian, but I didn't realize that he grew up in Jamaica. I wonder why. Do we know why he grew up in Jamaica? Is one of his parents Jamaican, or did they just happen to move to Jamaica? Or did he go? I don't remember what his story. But she's talking more about the cultural dynamics of the relationship and how differently they think about women's roles, traditional roles, because she grew up with a mom that said, you can do anything you want. You don't need a man. And of course, this group is a little bit more traditional. And I know you saw the part where Sweet Tea talks about how, it's like hanging out with my sweet grandmothers. The age gap difference is very big between them. Some people did not like that comment. I think she could have said it differently, but I got where she was coming from. There is a huge age gap between her and these women, and it would be nice to have someone else that could match Sweet Tea's younger energy. Who could have done that? Anila? You think Anila would have been like a good for? I don't know if they would get along. I think they should bring Anila back. Oh, what? And look, I didn't love Anila, but I loved her husband. I always told you guys that. I like the husband. I like their lifestyle. I like having their culture as well on the show. I would like to see her come back. Because at least then we can probably get that younger energy, kind of give some support to Sweet Tea. Audra, I agree. Every week we're gonna bring up Audra's name. Bring back Audra. Audra would be good too, because that younger energy, and she's married to a doctor. Cece said it's a no for me. I still love Karen. Dr. Karen was great. Dr. Karen was one of those husbands that will say too much, do too much. Nope, bring him back. I don't care what y'all say. This is my show. Shut up. No, I'm playing. All right. I'm just thinking for the future. All right. But every week I've told you I want Audra back. I don't feel like Audra got enough airtime. I think she would have been great. I love her and her husband. Now she has a baby. We're missing out on the first year of this baby's life. Come on now. Just saying. So Alicia talks about her relationship, the dynamic of her relationship. Kema, seems like he's a little bit more, I don't want to even say traditional. He believes in men play a role and women play a role, like that whole old school traditional mentality in regards to males' roles and things like that. Okay. All right. Planner Bay says, no, Anila, she's thirsty. I mean, no, because you see those photos, but her and Toya are in a better place now. But maybe they wouldn't be in a better place if she comes back on the show. I don't know. I agree, Jasmine. Justice for Audra. If I'm going to fight for anybody, I'm going to fight for Audra. And forget everybody else. That's the only one I'm going to fight for. All right. So Dr. Alicia, so we're starting to see a little bit more about what's going on with Dr. Alicia. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. So Jackie, Heavenly, and Sweet Tea go on the tuk-tuks, and poor Sweet Tea, she almost chokes on her drink. And both Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly are just so not helpful. But I think because if you're coughing, you're not, there's still air flowing. So if she wasn't coughing, they would know what to do, I would hope. At least Dr. Jackie would. So they're hanging out. They end up, after they take the tuk-tuk, they go and they actually have a nice little lunch in a vineyard. Okay? I think that was a vineyard. They're in Napa, so everywhere's a vineyard, basically. Sweet Tea says that she used to call a charcuterie board a coochie board. Okay. I'm not surprised. It's Sweet Tea. She probably says a coochie board. She probably still calls it a coochie board. I can't. But this is where she says in her confessional where she feels like this group is out of touch and closer to her grandma's age. Were you guys offended by what she said? I think the way she said it was a little offensive, but I also don't think that she was lying. I think it's very apparent she probably feels the age gap between her and the women all the time. And we also have to keep in mind that some of these women are doctors, and you remember how they used to make a Toya feel. So they have a very elitist mentality. Even though they might not say it, I feel like she feels it. Because you see how Dr. Simone is always correcting Sweet Tea's grammar. I'm sure there's a lot of microaggressions that she's feeling. So when you hear that commentary in her confessional, please understand, she's probably commenting on things that we probably haven't seen. She doesn't, at the point when she's doing these confessionals, she hasn't seen the scenes and how they're edited. So for all we know, she's commenting on something that we haven't seen. So we have to keep that in mind. So although I think the way she said it can be taken out of context. However, I do believe that, yeah, I can see why she feels like, I don't have anything in common with these women. And it feels like I'm hanging out with my grandmas as opposed to hanging out with my girlfriends. Yeah. Look, yeah. All right. Excuse me. So she talks about that. And she says that she feels like she doesn't have anything in common with the women. Yeah. Special case says treating her like she's uneducated. I mean, I feel like there are probably multiple times where there are sort of like these microaggressions that the women probably have we've actually seen it on the show. And I'm sure there are things that we haven't seen that they've done. SD Max says, Sweet Tea's conversation is very limited and childish, just like what you said about Phaedra's bowel movement talk. But here's the difference. Phaedra is what? Almost twice her age, but not quite. And she's supposedly very educated in comparison to Sweet Tea. Okay, so what's Phaedra's excuse? Okay? All right. Natasha says, so why come on the show? Because she wants to be a reality TV star. And I'm sure Dr. Gregory wanted to come back too. Blanche says they call her little girl. Yeah, I mean, look, the shade towards the ages is on both sides. So let's be honest. All right. And I'm sure that will come up during their reunion. All right. Cecil and Eugene have cigars, and they flash back to the night before where they were hanging out with Kema. So they're Dr. Alicia's husband. So they're talking about the group dynamic and how he hasn't been around the other women. They're not going to be so partial to him talking about women and their role in the relationship, because as Dr. Alicia's in Napa, he's taking care of the kids, and he's never done that before. But Dr. Alicia feels as if he has now an appreciation for what she does with the children now that he's done it. Okay? And Cecil and Eugene, you know, they're married to Simone and Toya. They're not your typical, you know, housewives. Like, they're very opinionated. And Kema has not been around the women yet. I'm sure we're going to see him around the women, and they're going to get him together in regards to his mentality. But my thing is if Dr. Alicia's okay with it, which she seems like she is, I'm not going to judge you. You're not my husband. If that's what works for you and your family, as long as you're not abusing the woman, why not? Like, okay. But here's the thing. Dr. Eugene and Cecil, they completely misconstrued that situation that happened a few episodes ago, because they made it seem as if she came and says, I'm ready to go. And he was like, the men are talking. That's not what happened. When they replayed it, he was like, oh, you know, give me 5 minutes. We're in the middle of a conversation. They really escalated and elevated what happened there. You see how things get misconstrued when someone retells a story? Because when they re-showed it, I was like, he didn't say it like that. You guys made it seem like he was like, oh. You know what I mean? No, he was just like, we're having a conversation. I need 5 minutes. And she came in like, I'm ready to go. I mean, like, okay, we're in the middle of conversation. You know what I mean? So I feel like Dr. Eugene and Cecil really try to escalate the story more than it actually was when they show the scene. Okay? Danny says that she's not okay with it. Because she didn't grow up that way. But she knows what this relationship is. She's talking about this with the other women. So apparently on some level, she's okay with it. And when she's not okay with it, she'll leave him. I mean, I don't want her to leave him, you know, because you don't want broken families. But come on. Brenda says they put 20 on 10. Yes, they put some extra sauce on it. So when I rewatched, I was like, they really just made it seem as if he was like, I was like, no. All right. I just wanted to point that out. I feel like they really misrepresented what actually happened. SD Mac, thank you so much for the super chats. SD says these are her husband's peers. So if they are old, he is old. In regards to Sweet Tea, yeah, he is old. Older. Not old. But you know what I mean? Like he is their age. So but apparently she feels like she has a lot in common with the older man. But we have to keep in mind too, men mature at a slower rate than women. So he probably matches her maturity. Like he couldn't be with like a quad because his maturity doesn't, you know what I mean? It's true. Sorry, men. Woo, 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 men. Woo, woo, woo. Look, I'm a man. Woo, woo, woo to me too. Mm-mm. SD Mac, thank you so much for the other super chat. Hold on. Oh, if any of the female MDs married a male version of Sweet Tea, they would be roasted by the cast and social media. Oh, I love that you brought this up, SD Mac. Let's think about that. If any of the female doctors married a male version of Sweet Tea, they would be roasted by the cast and social media. Right? You're right. You're right. That is a perspective. I'm just trying to think of what that guy would look like. I kind of want to see it, but we don't have anyone on here that's not that's single. Where that would work. I kind of want to see it though. Can we find a couple that's like that? I like to see it. Thank you, SD, for the super chat. We appreciate the support. Guys, you can also support liking the video. If you're watching us on TikTok, be sure to keep tapping your screens. We appreciate you guys watching from behind the scenes. Shout out to everyone watching on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. And shout out to those of you that are listening to the audio version of this live recap of Married to Medicine. Be sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. More information on that will be available in the description of the video, or just head on over to KempireRadio.com. All right. Look, I'm trying to see so the ladies, the other ladies that were at the spa, they end up having a conversation with Phaedra about getting married again. And this is where, like, I don't want to defend Phaedra, but them trying to say, oh, you should get married again. Cause they were asking like, you know, would you get married again? She was like, I just feel like high earning people, this is her. I feel like high earning people don't need to do all that. You just have a lot more at risk when you get married and things like that. Okay, I don't feel like she has to get married, but the way that Simone says, you know, right now it's okay for you, but because you're busy. I feel like she'll always be busy though. Phaedra always is getting into something or doing something, and she still has very young boys. Not them being in Tokyo when I was in Tokyo. Some of you kept hitting me up. You know Phaedra's in Tokyo too? A couple of people were in Tokyo. Tom Sandoval was in Tokyo. Who else was in Tokyo? Some other people were in Tokyo for the new year. I didn't see any of them. Thank God. Look. But I wasn't in Tokyo for New Year's. I was actually in Kyoto. So it's a little bit more low key over there. All right. Anyways, that would have been funny though to run into her. I mean, she would stick out like a you know, because there's not a lot of black people in Japan. There isn't. Look, Annie says Kempire Phaedra is 50 years old. Okay, I thought I said that. I know she was her 50s. 50. Okay. Anyways, all right. So Phaedra says like, yeah, she doesn't think that she doesn't want to get married again. So Dr. Simone's like, you're busy now, so they think that she should get married again. Okay, girl. Like, I don't understand the pressure to have her get married. Deborah says Kempire was with Phaedra in Japan. Really? Really? I didn't understand that conversation of trying to say, like, you should get married again. You know what I mean? And again, there's this sort of like weird interaction between Phaedra and Toya because she sort of like checks Toya. She's like, that's good for you in your household. And Toya doesn't, normally Toya would give that energy back, but I feel like a lot of them are pulling back in regards to Phaedra. And I'm not sure what that is. I don't know if it's because, you know, how she's being treated by the network and production, or it's because like, oh yeah, we don't want the smoke because we much rather be friends with her than Quad. You know what I mean? I feel like normally Toya would give that energy back. And I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. I'm going to continue to watch it. But I feel like even in their interviews, they're sort of like, oh, she's been a great addition to the show. Okay. I haven't seen it yet. TA says to be unhappily married like some of them. Yeah, I didn't like that conversation, but I saw the clip before the actual episode. I was like, okay, not everybody needs to be married. I don't even know if Phaedra's ever had a real relationship though after Apollo. I feel like she's been with a lot of guys that she shared on these reality shows, but I don't think those are the real guys that she's dating. Deborah says, I will never get married again. I mean, I've never been married, so I can't say that I won't ever get married. I'm open to getting married. You proposing? And look. Anyways. Thank you so much, SD, for another super chat. SD says, miserable Toya and Simone are not the best ambassadors for why to get married. Well, look, I don't know about, no, I can't even say that about Toya because she said some things about Eugene over the years. I think they're in a good space now. We do have that scene with Eugene and Toya. I like them this season because they seem like they're really having a good time with each other in their relationship and they really have each other's back. I mean, they've always really had each other's back. I mean, despite some of the things that she said over the years about him. So, yeah, we'll get back to that. So Phaedra then talks about her divorce to Apollo, and then they show clips from, you remember that garage scene when she was telling Apollo to get away from her, and he was talking about like, you've never been there for me, and she says that she was in a very dark place during that divorce. I never understood that marriage. There was always, I think there's just always something unexplained about Phaedra, and I think that's probably why we don't have a good, I don't feel like we have a connection to Phaedra. Anyone else? I feel like even with her on Real Housewives of Atlanta, because she's been so phony for so long, it's like there's no deep connection to Phaedra. Like even with Nene, no matter how you feel about Nene, you know Nene's story. You feel a connection to Nene. We don't have that with Phaedra because Phaedra's been lying to us since we met her. She lied about her pregnancy timeline. Look, she lied about her pregnancy timeline. Look, hold on. I want to put this thing on here first. Hold on. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. Because I gotta keep this in the arsenal.
Proceeds through timeline screenshots
is okay, Jessica, you agree with me. Jessica says, yeah, it's weird that they hold back with Phaedra and hold Quad to a standard and let Quad skate. Yeah, I noticed it, and I think it's only because they want Quad off the show. So I think that's why they're giving Phony Faye like a lot of grace this season. I don't know if it will continue next season, but we shall see. And I definitely think that Phaedra's coming back for another season. All right, look, I'm just gonna let it go. Look. Look. Oh, Virgilian says that Phaedra and Giselle are one and the same. I can see that. Here's the difference, though. Phaedra has given us moments of, like, read that girl down. I can't say the same for Giselle. You know what I mean? Like, Giselle hasn't given us that. Okay. All right. Moving along. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. We are talking about Married to Medicine. And of course, anytime I'm live, I always have my coldest water bottle near me, but they don't just sell water bottles. They have things for your pets. They have ice packs, sheets, and more. Head on over to coldest.com, but don't forget to use the discount code KEMPIRE10 for 10% off of your order. All right. Moving along. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok. We appreciate you guys. Keep tapping your screens. Let's get to 10,000 likes. And those of you that are watching here on YouTube, we have almost 1,000 people in the building for our recap of Married to Medicine. Keep liking the video. Let's get to 300 likes. We're almost there. All right. Hold on. All right. So they have their final dinner in Napa. All right. And apparently Toya told everyone to dress as their favorite wine. So, a red wine or a white wine. Phaedra shows up in a glittery, like she's going to the Renaissance concert. So Toya, again, doesn't say anything. She makes a little bit of a joke about it, but she doesn't go there about it. But it's not a big deal. Who cares? So Dr. Jackie decides to reflect on talking to the VP during this trip and talking about maternal mortality. All right. So she makes a big, this is a big deal, that I was able to do this. She's very excited about this. All right. We haven't been live since this all came out. All right. I'm going to flash back to 3 years ago when Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie were on her YouTube channel. And she said this.
Sometimes as African-American women, we're a bit more dramatic. And that you go to the doctor and you complain and you complain and you complain. And you're not taken serious because you cried wolf the entire pregnancy.
That ain't me, boo. I don't know what you're talking about, but go ahead.
I didn't say you. I just said as African-American women, we want to also make sure you're being serious with your doctor and not playing the game so I can take you off work. Because then we see you 25 times in the pregnancy. It's hard to believe that there's a true problem when there's a true problem.
So that happened, and that went viral on social media. So Dr. Jackie, in response to this, because it really started to blow up, literally, I'm traveling. I believe this started to blow up as I got to Tokyo. So a lot of you, Look, I don't respond to people on social media. Every once in a while, I start writing something to say something to y'all. But Nicki Minaj said something recently. She says, I don't speak to the internet. And I was like, you know what? That is my mantra for 2024. I don't speak to the internet, especially people I don't know. I'll speak to you guys here, but I'm not speaking to the internet. Because some of y'all were like, oh, Kempire got all the stuff to say about this and that one, but he ain't got nothing to say about Dr. Jackie. Oh, he must be paid by Dr. Jackie. I was like, you obviously do not watch our channel. You really don't. Dr. Jackie. No. Oh, all right. So this all blew up. And like I said, I was literally traveling, so I couldn't talk about it, but then I eventually did do a video and I talked about it. But Dr. Jackie, before she put out that video, she released a statement. So I'm just taking you back through what played out, all right? So Dr. Jackie at the time released this statement on her Instagram. And Dr. Jackie says this: recently a clip from a nearly 2-hour video was taken out of context to make it appear that I somehow take lightly what I have advocated for concerning the devastating problem facing Black maternal health crisis. It has been my life's work to highlight and attempt to rectify the issues that devastatingly impact Black maternal mothers versus our counterparts. As a physician, I educate my patients every day to be their own best health advocate. As we continue to face medical mistreatment and gaslighting, my intention with the broader conversation was to ensure patients enter their pregnancies armed with information and tools to effectively communicate their needs with their doctors to ensure a positive outcome. The reason I became an OBGYN is because growing up, I saw such a lack of diversity amongst medical professionals and was determined to be a part of the change. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, I will continue to fight for the lives of Black mothers and babies. Dr. Jacqueline Walters. So a lot of people at the time says she took no accountability. The original video that I was able to post about this, and I said, no, Dr. Jackie, you need to apologize for what you said. Because you said it. You literally contradicted what you said in the previous episode of this season in regards to, you got to believe mothers, because what you said was dangerous because you are a doctor that people look to and respect. So she felt the pressure because a lot of people said this statement was trash. A lot of people said that this statement was trash. And both Toya, Dr. Heavenly came out and says, I stand with Dr. Jackie. And look, I don't think that people should be threatening Dr. Jackie, trashing Dr. Jackie, but people can have their opinions on things that she said over the years, like Buffy. Buffy came out. We even posted that video. Buffy came out and talked about her own gripe with Dr. Jackie and what she did on the previous season of Married to Medicine in regards to her fertility issues. Again, if you watch that episode, you're like, where in the hell did that come from, Dr. Jackie? Like, why? It was weird. Buffy weighed in. If you missed our video on that, be sure to check that out. We talked about it. So she weighed in. Buffy weighed in on that. So Dr. Jackie was feeling the pressure. So she released a video apology.
Happy holidays to you and yours. I'm taking a much needed pause to address comments that I made during a 2020 live interview with one of my castmates. First and most importantly, to Black women and mothers, including your friends, families, and the medical community who cares for you. Because my words left you hurt and feeling unsupported, I want you to know I hear you, I see you, I believe you, and I apologize from the bottom of my heart. I am brokenhearted over this. The guilt and reality that I have hurt and offended people, especially Black women, and some of my own patients, pains me to my core. As I look back over the 2-hour video again and again, I admit that I used the wrong words and descriptions to properly convey my concerns regarding maternal mortality related to women of color. But the fact is, we must do more because we are still dying more. If I could say it all over again, here's how I'd say it. When experiencing a health matter, keep a log of your concerns and symptoms so that you can provide them accurately to your physician. Have a buddy system, someone who can advocate for you when you're with a physician, especially when pregnant. Know that a second and third opinion is not just sometimes warranted, but necessary. I thank you for taking out time from your holiday to tune into my apology and my self-dedication to Black women and healthcare. I've been shaken and moved to be better.
So a lot of people also said that they didn't believe this apology. They didn't like the fact that she was clearly reading an apology. Sidebar. Even if you're going to read an apology, girl, get someone to hold it up. Where was Curtis? Oh, where the hell is Curtis? Where was Curtis? Could have held up the cue cards for Dr. Jackie so she didn't look like she was reading from a teleprompter and she could look directly at the camera. But some people speak better by writing things down. I get that. But here's the thing. People already feel like you're cold, Dr. Jackie. This was not the apology or the way that this apology should have went. You could have really, because this is your bread and butter. This is not something that you needed to read from a teleprompter or from a cue card. You should be able to say from your heart what you thought about what you said then, apologize for that, and what people should do going forward in regards to advocating for themselves. You can say this. You don't need to write this down. It did give fake. I'm sorry, Dr. Jack. It did give fake. It will be interesting because they're definitely going to talk about this at the reunion. I will, Dr. Jackie, prepare for the reunion. We need you to talk about this openly and honestly. But she's not used to being called out. She's not used to being told you need to take accountability. And the nerve of her talking about accountability in this episode at the dinner. And then, of course, they flash back to her friendship issues with Dr. Simone. I see you guys. Yes, Curtis was probably in DR because I was just thinking as I was watching the video, why isn't Curtis sitting by her side? Not that he needed to, but I feel like this is what you do. So many times when men get in trouble, they always pull the wife in, and the wife is standing there by their side. You should have pulled Curtis in to sit there because he sits on this show with you. Sit there with you as a united front and support your wife, or at least hold up the cue cards. Someone said on TikTok, Curtis and Juan are hanging together. You know what? I'm not surprised that this came out in regards to Dr. Jackie because a lot of you have said that you have changed your opinion on Dr. Jackie a long time ago after that whole Buffy situation and other things like the fat shaming. They even showed a little bit of that in this week's episode when they were talking about Heavenly and her friendship and how it started off rough. All right. Not Bring the Mess TV says, I bet they are separated in real life. I mean, it's giving that. We barely see him this season. Of course, based off the mid-season trailer, we're going to see them bring up his cheating and stuff like that back in, they're going to talk about it this season a little bit. Okay. Booby says Juan has no money. Yes, he does. He's still getting his paycheck from the school for the next 15 months. Or 12. I don't know where we're at in regards to the months. All right. Booby says that Curtis is Dolo in DR. Y'all are a mess, okay? I just feel like he should have sat there or at least held up the cue cards. Where was Curtis? Curtis always shows up for the other stuff, for the strippers and things like that, but not for his wife. Ron says that Phaedra lacks vulnerability and transparency. Agreed. Anyway, so rewinding back, Sweet Tea in this scene during their final Napa dinner talks about how she's ready to have a baby. She's ready to start her family. As we were introduced to her, one of the things that she did in the DMs to Dr. Gregory was drop the baby emoji. So she says she's ready to be a mom. She's ready to be a parent. All right. Then this leads into a conversation because this is what I do like about Dr. Jackie because she's so well versed in surrogacy and things like that. So Dr. Simone brings up, what's the timeline for surrogacies, the waiting list and things like that, which leads to I did not even think about this because look, I've never seeked to have a surrogate. Some people do not want the surrogate having sex while they're pregnant with their baby. I never thought about that. I mean, it makes complete sense. Yeah, but then it's like, that's a serious situation. You can't have sex. What if you're married with a husband? I guess you're not probably doing this if you're in a situation where I hope it pays well because for 10 months, almost, like, really? Look, no, like you could put that in your contract but how do you even control that? You can't really, right? Which leads to Toya bringing up that Dr. Eugene didn't want to have sex with her because he feared of, on the baby. And Dr. Jackie's is like, he is a doctor. He should know better than that. He did not really believe that. But you remember the conversation this season that he had with his boys. He cleaned it up nicely, but he's still a man. And I think even male doctors, even with all the knowledge that they have, they always revert back to that. They're just thinking like, I don't want to do that. I mean, I think that's ridiculous because that's your wife. But when I think about the whole surrogacy part of it, I'm like, yeah, I don't want you sleeping with nobody during this time. Okay, I don't need my baby hearing nothing. If they hear anything. So I thought that was interesting because I never thought about it. Has anyone gone through a surrogacy situation? Did you make that requirement? Tell us. Replay crew. What do you think of this week's episode of Married to Medicine? How would you guys rate it? All right. Let me see what the rating for this week's episode. Ooh, the rating for this week's episode is not great. 47% of you guys are rating this week's episode of Married to Medicine between 4 and 6. It wasn't their greatest episode, but I still have enjoyed Married to Medicine more than Potomac this season. But this week's episode wasn't their greatest. But that's interesting. Keep voting for those that are watching on YouTube. All right. All right. So, moving on. We leave Napa. And then we have that scene with Dr. Eugene and Toya. She needs him to help her take the tracks out of her head. So they're talking about what happened during the weekend. And then they also talk about this being their version of a date and their intimacy and getting over some of the issues that they've had the last couple of years in regards to their intimacy and their relationship. Apparently that is part of their story again this season. Okay. So it was a cute little scene with them. And Dr. Eugene says that this was a date for them. And she was like, well, I planned this one. You planned the next one. He said, well, the next one's going to be manscaping me. I like them as a couple. I think they really do truly enjoy each other. Have I liked some of the things that Toya has said about him over the years on a reality show? No, but I really feel like they ride or die for each other. So I'm like, good for y'all. Y'all love each other. That's all. Look, I see more passion and love between them than Juan and the roommate of the year on Potomac. Just saying. All right. This scene with Alora and Dr. Heavenly, I did not expect this scene. I thought it was just going to be another scene where Dr. Heavenly is talking about Alora going to college. She doesn't want to go to college. But Alora's going to college, all right? And she's going to FAMU, all right? So Alora comes in, though, and then because Dr. Heavenly has said that she spends a lot of time with Alora. That's like her best friend, all right? So Alora comes in and she says, I'm going to be away, so I'm going to be a little worried about you because there's something that I've been meaning to bring up to you, and I think that you should reach out to your sister. I completely forgot after Dr. Heavenly's mom died that her mom wanted Dr. Heavenly and her sister to, come closer together because they've sort of had this competitive relationship over the years, which was really sparked by their mom. So Alora's like, I want you to reach out to your sister. I think you should. Heavenly only responds to Alora. She doesn't respond. And Daddy, Dr. Damon Daddy, but more so Alora. So Alora says, I think you should reach out to her. And I was like, I think you should reach out to her now. I think you should reach out to her now. So Heavenly ends up calling her sister. Her sister sent her straight to voicemail. That was sent straight to voicemail. We know that was sent straight to voicemail because it didn't automatically go to voicemail. It rang a couple times, and then sister saw Heavenly come up. Probably has her listed as do not pick up. Do not pick up, and then she says send to voicemail. Send to voicemail. Look. I would love to see Dr. Heavenly and her sister on the show because so many people say that Dr. Heavenly doesn't show her real life on the show. I don't know. Just because it seems like she has a perfect life doesn't mean that that's not her real life. I think some people feel that way, and it's not to say that she has a perfect life either. But I also think she has a solid life. I think she's done a great job with her kids, Alora especially. But I also think when Alora told her to call her in the voice message that she left, I felt like, Dr. Heavenly, you could have just said, hey, sis, I've been thinking about you. I wanted to reach out. Give me a call back. I didn't want her to say too much because now her sister knows exactly what she's calling about. And her sister might be like, I'm going to have to call her back when I'm ready. And then she might not call her back. I thought that was interesting, though. I like the scene, though. I like seeing Alora in that role. All right? All right. Hey, everyone. Hey. If those that are just joining us, don't forget to like the video. Shout out to everyone watching on YouTube. We appreciate you all being here. Shout out to everyone watching on TikTok as well. We appreciate you as well. All right. So the final scene we have is... I was about to call Laura. No, Sweet Tea going to the doctor because, as you know, Sweet Tea had spoken to Dr. Simone. Dr. Simone had sent her to a specialist. And she goes to the specialist, and the specialist tells her that she has endometriosis. and fibroids, and they're going to go in and kind of see what's going on with her. So she goes in. She's, first of all, just sort of like, so what does that mean about me having a baby? And it doesn't look great in regards to her possibly having a child. And she really gets emotional about it in her confessional. Like, and mind you, she's by herself. And I know a lot of women go to these appointments by herself. This actually would have been a nice scene for maybe one of the ladies, maybe Dr. Simone or maybe Toya, to kind of go with her, because it really felt so cold and alone. And I was like, damn, to get that news, you're by yourself. She ends up calling Dr. Gregory. And at first, when I watched it last night, I was like, I think she should wait till she gets home, to talk to him about what's happening. But again, now thinking about it, she was alone. She probably didn't want to feel so alone. And that's why she called him from the office. So she's really concerned. Dr. Gregory, when she calls him, he's just like, we got to be positive. We don't know. We're going to figure this out. Here's the thing. I know some people are like, well, there's so many options nowadays. You can adopt, you can get a surrogate. Here's the thing though. Some people want to have the experience of being pregnant. So we have to keep that in mind before we say these things to people that are going through these things. So I guess we will see. She seemed really hurt and bothered at the point where it's sort of like, I'm sure in her life, things have sort of like went, did this, had my career, now I got married, now I want to have the baby. So now she sort of has a bump in the road. But it's just a bump, sweet tea. And we are praying for you and everything that's going on here. Or here. I don't have a uterus, so what am I talking about? Look, what am I talking about? Anyways, but we are wishing the best for you. I did want to mention Sweet Tea and Dr. Heavenly's fight on social media last night. What is going on? I couldn't even make out what they were saying, but we have a clip. Look, we have a clip. Let me play it for you.
We're not gonna let anybody
Go back to the bed.
Okay, so we're not gonna let anybody
Okay. The show is back on.
No. If she was messing with me, she would already have a business off the ground.
Girl, please, no. Actually, you owe me some money for that black ass Dr. Heavenly You owe me some money. With that.
I've been watching the Beverly Hills Housewives, and they argue without yelling.
Okay, well, I don't give a damn what the niggas do.
Let's try that. Let's talk. Shoot to you. That's something you want to say to me, and then I have my
No, show it. You can go to sleep. Your mama there.
My mom is dead.
No, we cannot have that.
You know what? Don't play with me.
Come on there. You don't want.
No, don't do that.
Because, baby, I had 3 kids. I done did it all, baby. I done did it all.
Oh,
baby.
wait. Pause. This is the part I didn't like, because Heavenly's from Florida. So Heavenly will go to the gutter with you. She that moment where she says, I've had my 3 kids, we just were talking about Sweet Tea not being able to possibly have babies. Heavenly, you go too far, but maybe she went too far because she brought up her mom, and her mom, as you know, passed away. I was just like, oh my God. Oh my God. I'm going to replay it so you guys can hear that again.
Yeah, what the niggas do.
Let's try that. Let's talk. Shoot to you. That's something you want to say to me, and then I have my
No, show it. You can go to sleep. Your mama there.
My mom is dead.
No, we cannot have that.
You know what? Don't play with me.
Come on there. You don't want.
No, don't do that.
Because, baby, I had 3 kids. I done did it all, baby. Baby, you want to do what I did. You call me for relationship advice. You say I got you drunk.
Nobody called you for relationship advice. No. You gave your own warranty advice. I know we just don't advice. You gave your own warranty advice. I didn't never get worry about that. It's like you got influence. Worry about that. always showing my bitch
What I'm worried about? What I'm worried about?
because we know you insecure about
It's-
that. We're
Insecure about what?
What? Yeah.
Baby, I've been married 30 years. I've been with my man 30 years. You just got a man. Just so I can take you tomorrow. Let's not fuck with that. Let's
That's why you got 7 streams of income. And you want to go ahead and stop around your pizza man because you
want to bring
are the mule and you're one trick pony. And that's what it is.
She'll take your man. So
We have
can't no bitch on the show take
Yeah, girl, please.
Can't no bitch on the show take my man. Your man is gone. If I snap my fingers,
Lose the bass out of your voice anytime I utter a bitch or another bitch about your man. Please, we know that
your man is gone.
it ain't about nothing. It ain't about nothing.
Now, ladies,
That would have got
Nothing. You might as well that.
So I watched that and I said to myself, what the hell are they? I had to watch it over and over again just to be like, what is being said? Sweet Tea's talking about Heavenly's mama. She's reminded my mama's dead. So then, of course, Heavenly goes to the point where I've had my 3 babies, talking about because Sweet Tea wants to have kids. And then Sweet Tea says, in response to Heavenly says, you came to me for advice, talking about your troubles. She's like, you gave me unwarranted advice, which I believe. We know how Dr. Heavenly can be. I believe it was unwarranted advice. Damn. But I wouldn't be surprised, although these two are arguing this season, that they will be best friends. Look how we literally watched in this episode on Married to Medicine, how Heavenly and Dr. Jackie did not get along in the beginning. And now they're like best of friends. I don't know if Heavenly and Sweet Tea will be best of friends, but this reunion is going to be interesting. And this reunion is going to be interesting. All right. We're going to drop the call-in link so you guys can call in and share your thoughts. But if you're a member of the channel, I'm going to drop the call-in link for you guys first. So, and for those that are watching us on YouTube, be sure to like the video. Let's get to 400 likes, and I'll drop the call-in link for you guys as well. Hold on. Let me just go to the community tab on YouTube. And for those that are listening to the audio version of this, if you want to hear the callers, be sure to check us out on YouTube. I will not be including the callers on the audio version of the live. Okay? All right. Let me see. And let me do this. All right. So if you are a Senior Royal, I'm dropping the call-in link for you now. All right. And Royal Court members, I'm dropping the call-in link for you. And Team Kempire members, we're dropping the call-in link for you. All right. All right. So I don't know what happened on that Instagram Live. For those that don't realize it, during the season, the cast have been going on Instagram Live and watching the show on Instagram Live and commenting, and that has led to a lot of viral moments, because a lot of you, when we were on TikTok last night, said, did you see the fight between Sweet Tea and Dr. Heavenly? And I was like, I did not. So, of course, eventually a lot of the screenshots of that, screen records of that, have come out, and I just played for you a little bit of this back and forth between Heavenly and Sweet Tea. Sidebar, so Heavenly also said, in one of the clips, she also said that Quad could take Dr. Gregory right now, that Dr. Gregory still wants to be with Quad. Like, there are certain things you can't come back from, at least not with me. If you said something like that to me, you and I would never be friends. You and I would never be friends. You know what I mean? Exactly. Shireen, thank you, Shireen. Shireen, what time is it where you are? Aren't you in London? Shireen says, Heavenly insinuated Dr. G has been calling Quad. I don't believe that he's calling Quad. Because is Quad answering? Look, is Quad answering? I don't think so. I don't think she would answer his calls. So, and Heavenly has been saying in previous interviews that she believes that if Quad wanted Dr. Gregory back, he could have her. I don't know if I believe that. Like, I don't think it would work. I think they were such a toxic couple together. Even if they were to get back together, it would be momentary. It would be momentary. But I don't see Quad getting back with him either. I see Quad has really moved past that. I don't see that's the type of guy that she wants to be with at this point in her life. I mean, it's hard to tell because she never shows the men that she's actually with. Do you guys think that Quad will come back next season? I don't really hear anyone talking about whether or not she's coming back. It seems like this group of women are truly over Quad. Of course, she's going to come back for the reunion. She wants that check. She's going to come back for the reunion, and maybe that will be the deciding factor on whether or not she will return. Look. O'Shea, I see you're backstage. It says device is not connected. You might need to drop out and then call back in. I also see that Wendy's backstage. If you're a member of the channel, we've dropped the call-in link on the community tab, so you have first access. Those that are in the live chat, I'm going to drop the call-in link for you guys. Let's get to 400 likes. We're talking about the latest episode of Married to Medicine. Even though we've been off for the last couple of weeks, in comparison to our recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine, I enjoyed Married to Medicine a lot more, especially this season. It wasn't their best episode. I really can't wait for the reunion, though. I don't know what's going to happen the rest of this season. I know we got a little preview of what's to come with the rest of the season, but I'm ready for the reunion. They haven't even filmed it yet. It must be coming up soon, though, probably in the next couple of weeks, both Potomac and Married to Medicine. Andy, you're about to be real busy. I wonder when they're going to do it because they're literally on the same schedule, Married to Medicine and Potomac. I'm not going to get into what I say every single season about Andy hosting these reunions. But I'm going to say it again because you know what? If I don't keep saying it, they're going to continue to bring Andy to host these damn reunions. Can we get someone else? And I'm not talking about me because I know y'all going to say, no. Can we get someone else? Can we just get someone else? Especially for Married to Medicine because Andy doesn't produce the show. I just want something different. I want something fresh. I want someone who's going to ask questions that Andy's not going to ask. All right? Just saying. I want someone that's going to hold Dr. Jackie accountable. And we already know that he's an executive, so he's not going to hold her accountable. I want someone to hold her accountable at this reunion. Just saying. Hold on. I'm going to see this comment. SC says, yes, Andy asking questions for Married to Medicine. He was asking for questions on X. I'm blocked. Look, so I don't know. So, okay, that's good to know. So he's asking for the reunion questions. All right. Monet says, this was a good filler, but filler nonetheless. Yeah, it was definitely like a filler episode. It was definitely filler. And it felt like a filler episode, which is fine because everyone's just getting back from the holidays and things like that. All right. I'm going to drop the call-in link for the live chat. Let me just do that. Live chat, thank you so much. We reached over 400 likes, but let's keep liking the video. That's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels that talk about Married to Medicine as well. Be sure to check out the description of the video for more details on our New York City show, which is less than 3 weeks away. We have a lot to talk about, including Real Housewives of Potomac, Beverly Hills, Married to Medicine, and of course, Hot Topics. It's going to be very much like what we do on Tuesday Takeover. Don't forget, Tuesday Takeover is happening tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, as Carlos would say. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already. All right. Thank you so much for the super chats, Danielle. Danielle says, Quad didn't want Greg when they were together. That's why I'm like, I just don't see her getting back with him. You know what I mean? Unless it means bringing her back on the show. NYC MP, thank you so much for the super chat. What's the song played at the end of the RHOP recap today? Love you. That was G. Smith, Hero. G. Smith, Hero. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate your support. All right. back to this. So we're going to get into the calls. Again, for those that are listening to this on the podcast, don't forget you can hear our callers on the Kempire YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed there, be sure to subscribe. And for those that are watching this, don't forget to subscribe to the Kempire podcast on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And while you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. Let's get to these callers so I can get out of here and get some sleep. King L Singleton says, King Kempire, this is your third live today and you have not mentioned dinner. I just did. SC says, you looking at 90 Day Single Life? And I have to see, I have a lot of things to catch up on this evening for tomorrow so we can talk about it. So stay tuned for our recaps of, 90 Day Fiance, 90 Day Single Life, Below Deck, all of that. All right. Shireen says, where's Shireen? Hold on. Shireen says, yes, I heard on the podcast Andy blocked you because of his sexcapades. You think he really believed that I was out in the club that late taking video of him? Really? I don't do that of myself. When you guys want vlogs, you think I'm out in the club doing this? That wasn't me. Anyways. Whatever. All right, let's get to the callers. And for once, Alex is not first. Alex was sleeping. It's all right. We're going to get to the callers. Let me switch this out. Hold on. Let's go here. And let me put up my disclaimer. All right, let's get to these callers. Wendy's backstage. We're going to bring her up first. Wendy, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire. I cannot believe I beat Alex. Oh, my goodness.
Alex must have been sleeping.
Okay, so I may be a little bit winded because I have a lot to say. So I'm going to try to say it as fast as I can.
Take your time.
Okay.
I'm not giving you guys a timer this time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you. Okay, one. Did you see the reel that Phaedra posted with her, Sweet Tea, and Alicia? And Sweet Tea looked so uncomfortable. I was like, oh, I feel so sorry for her. I'm going to pray for her. Bless her heart. Okay, two. Dr. Jackie, you meant every word that you said on the first video because you didn't read it from a script. If you read it from the heart, it would have probably been more receptive. But because you read from a teleprompter, no. And those crocodile tears, I was like, where are the tears? Where are the tears, honey? Okay, that's two. Three, it tripped me out when Sweet Tea was talking about the grandmas. And then it made me think about it because, my line of work, where I work, I have met a 39-year-old great-grandmother. Yes, I have. Yes. Her 26-year-old, 13-year-old had a baby. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Also, I want to talk about Sweet Tea. I feel bad for her with her reproductive issues and everything. Yeah. And I know what that's like because when I was in my early 20s, I was told I could not have babies. And I was accepting to be that auntie, that fun auntie that spoils her niece and nephew. At 29, boom, I got pregnant and had a son. Yep, so it can happen. And during my pregnancy, I had 6 fibroid tumors, so it was not good. And in 2018, I had to get a blood transfusion because I had so many fibroid tumors. And so I just decided just to go ahead and have the hysterectomy because I was in my 40s. I'm not having any more babies. I'm good. And when I had my hysterectomy, my doctor told me I had 26 fibroid tumors. My uterus was the size of a 9-month-old.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So it is very, very painful. And I feel very, very bad for Sweet Tea. And I think if she just relax and just don't worry about it, it's going to happen. If God wants it to happen, it's going to happen because I got a miracle child and he's about to turn 18. And what that's all I wanted to say. And you go get you something to eat get yourself some sleep and watch your TV. And
Thank you.
Tune in tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Take care. And thank you for sharing your story. And I feel like there's so many women, especially Black women, that have similar stories. And I want them to talk a little bit more about this, and maybe they will during the reunion in regards to Black women and fibroids. And I just can't even. There's a lot of research in regards to why Black women have such a high rate of fibroids. I need to do some reading. Anyways, look. Born to Win, I'm going to bring you up next. What's going on, Born to Win?
Hi. Oh, my goodness. I didn't expect me to be first. So I purposely stayed at the office just so I can get all my thoughts over to you.
Oh.
I didn't want the kids yelling in the back, say I'm the Kempire again. So,
Oh.
all right. So my heart goes out to Wendy that just called in. I'm so happy you have your miracle baby girl. That is awesome.
Yeah.
So this brings me to my point of the live that happened with Sweet Tea and Heavenly. So Heavenly, I think sometimes when she speaks, because she's looking at the person in which she's talking to, that she would say anything to hurt them, forgetting people behind her that she actually love or have a relationship with, and see how they could also catch a straight bullet. Because Jackie should feel offended by the comment she made to Sweet Tea about you can't even have kids. They all give Mariah a lot of hell for that. So if I was Jackie, that would be something if my friend is insensitive to make comments like that. So that is one thing I have to say. Um, Sweet Tea comment about the coochie board. You know, I'm not an Audra fan. I'm sorry. I know you like her. But what I can say is that, yes, I do agree with you that she and Sweetie would make a perfect dynamic because of their age. And I think the coochie board comment would have been accepted by Audra because I can see her laughing at that and understanding it versus the rest of the ladies. So I think that's where the grandma comments can be a little offensive to some people because you probably can't catch on to that comment and understand it's just a joke. Toya can certainly lead the pack with the wives because after she and Audra kind of fixed the little issues that they have, but I
Yeah.
think I can see her kind of like governing that group of ladies as the wives group, and it would really shift the dynamic in the group. I think. I'm so sorry. I know I have a lot to say, but I really been waiting for this one. Um, yes. So Phaedra and the whole comments about her bowel movement or whatever she's having, I know I'm sorry, but you made a comment earlier, Kempire, about her educational level, and I just don't feel like her intellect has anything to do with her decorum, doesn't have anything to do with her education
Good
background.
point.
So just to fix that part there for you. Okay, so and I don't think Sweet Tea and Heavenly can be friends because of the comment. She's always coming for someone's mother, and dead or alive, I'm sorry, you should not disrespect anyone's parent. And she kind of set herself up for, for like Sweet Tea to say that comment to her because, a parent can be alive and be going through some critical conditions, and some people really go through a lot in life to take care of their children. You don't know anyone's struggle. So you offending someone's mother is very disrespectful. So dead or alive, I'm sorry. If you come from me and I come for your mom, if she's dead, I'm sorry. She's gonna have to catch that too in the grave. I'm sorry.
Oh God,
Um,
y'all are cold blooded.
all
Okay.
right. So Carlos came for Simone last night. I don't know if you
Oh
know.
yes, I forgot to mention this
Yes,
because Simone
yes,
referred to him as a blogger, and I fell
yes.
out.
He
I was like,
was
she's talking about
offended.
Carlos on Watch What Happens Live because
Yes.
Quad did that interview with Carlos, and she was referring to Carlos as a blogger. So what did Carlos say?
Oh, I think he was so bothered because he went from, I don't care about her saying that about me, and then he just started giving her straight shots, talking about how she can go off the show. No one talks about her. She's forgettable
Did he
and
do this
all
on
of
Twitter
these
or he
things
did it on his YouTube?
on his YouTube live.
Oh, okay. I guess
I
I'm
mean,
bad.
he kind of gave her a whole segment and I was like, okay, clearly you are bothered by the comment and you seem offended by it because it was like he just kept hammering at Simone and then later on come back and say, oh, you know how you always says, I love Simone. No, I love her, but she's a good doctor, but at least I'm not boring, and he just kept like coming for her. Way. Anyway, so that's just little tea for you right there. I have
Thank
for you.
you.
Yes.
You
And
reminded me of
Jackie.
something that I wanted to talk about because I Watch What Happens Live, which I rarely do, but I wanted to see Robin and Dr. Simone talk about the
Yeah.
episodes. And I was like, wait a second, the interview that Quad did with the blogger, and I was like, wait, you talking about Carlos King?
Yes.
So he didn't
Yeah.
like that, huh? First of
He
all,
didn't like.
being called a blogger, I get it. He is a well-established producer, but
Yeah.
you're doing blogger work,
I was gonna
Carlos.
say, like, why are you offended? And you are benefiting from this very much so, and you're speaking on them. So why can they not speak on you or refer to you as someone that they feel is blogging about them? So yeah, he was bothered, I'm sure. And sorry, my last point,
Okay, quick.
Kempire will be that Jackie pretty much is one of those, I'm sorry, hurt people, but she does it in a subtle way. And, Mariah warned us about this. She kind of like let us know a little bit about how she, says and do things, And so pretty much it's just being revealed year after year after year about just some of her ways. I'm sorry, and I'm so sorry, guys. I know I took too much time
You
today,
did.
but I just wanted to get those
No, it's
points
fine.
out. And I hope you have a great night,
You
Kempire.
too. Have a
Oh,
good night.
sorry, someone came for your tree earlier. Some girl on the previous live, and my tree is still decked out. So I don't know what she's talking about. If I put my tree up a week before Christmas, it's staying so whenever I'm ready to take it down.
I know that's right. Okay.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye. All right. I do want to. Speaking of coming for me, I love it when you guys come for me. But hold on one second. Before we even do that, I just want to say Shireen said so true. I was diagnosed with endometriosis. I apologize, and was told conceiving would be difficult. As soon as we tried, I conceived my son. God is good, and I met her son in London. Adorable, adorable. Shireen, beautiful, beautiful story. Tony says this to me. Tony, you gonna get the energy. It is 2024. I don't think you got the memo. Tony says, Kempire, your hate for Robin is embarrassing for you. If Robin's happy, well, I'm gonna read exactly how he wrote it. If Robin happy, why y'all worried about her relationship? Worry about your own. Robin, thanks for watching. She's on a reality show, Tony. Go sit down and worry about yourself. Your hate for Robin. I don't know these people, and neither do you. Oh, wait, you do know them because hey, it's Robin. Hey, Rob. Hey, regular Robin. Regular Robin, go sit down. Look. Oh, mess. Who said your hate? I don't know her. I don't have that emotional attachment for Robin. I'm recapping a show. Okay? But I know it's Robin. Hey, Robin. I know it's not even Juan because I don't think Juan cares enough. Juan's too busy living his best life over there in the DMV, walking hand in hand down in Georgetown. Okay? So, Robin, go sit down. Go sit down. Don't you have better things to do? Don't you have embezzled hats to sell? But I do also believe that there are fans that will do all of that for people that they don't know. Tony, go have several seats. Okay? Anyways, let me get to the callers. I'm sorry, callers. All right, Alex is backstage. Really? Look, Alex did not get the first spot, but he's here. What's going on, Alex?
You know what? I had things to do.
Oh.
I had a life.
Oh.
I have a life. I can't be first all the time.
Well.
Okay? All right. First I'll address Tony, or I'm sorry, Roberto. Sir, or sorry, ma'am, please sit down. And if it is Roberto, because I doubt she has the money to pay for bots. Meanwhile, she's about to go on unemployment. Ma'am, you need to be getting off of Kempire's live and worrying about what Juan is doing in the laundromat. Meanwhile, you're calling him. His camera's off while he's doing laundry. Meanwhile, he's spreading someone open. Anyways, let's continue.
Save that for the live show.
I'm not going to be able to go. I got to get it out.
Okay.
Anyway. Carlos getting bothered about Simone is nothing new. Carlos always gets his panties in a bunch. Anyways, let's continue again. Heavenly is getting karma for her, how she constantly talks about people's mothers. You know what? I don't care if your mama is dead or alive. I'm going to talk about her and your grandmother, who's also most likely dead. Anyway.
Oh my God. Alex.
I'm tired today. Listen, I'm a little more aggressive today. I'm tired. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to say that. I would do it. And what? Drag me, Monique. Anyway, let's continue. I actually like Sweet Tea in this group. I just think she needs a younger counterpart as well. Toya is pretty young, but actually, how old is Toya? Toya is in her late 40s now, right?
Yeah.
Or
mid 40s, I think.
So mid 40s. So she's, I mean, advanced in years, not old, obviously. You're not old in your 40s, 50s, or 60s. But, you know, Sweet Tea needs someone younger. I agree that Audra needs to come back to the show. I really liked Audra on the show. I actually kind of like Alicia. I don't like her husband. Her husband is Lord fix it. Anyway, let's continue. Heavenly, I try to ride with you, but then you say awful things that make me not like you. You have no allegiance to anyone. The only way I like you is you're good for TV, and that's really it. Jackie, I don't even have anything to say about the Jackie situation. I think the people dragging her online have said enough. And the experiences of people who have gone to her practice have said enough. I have some tea. I'm going to spill some tea right now. Listen, when you guys are saying, when Heavenly said that Quad would go back to Dr. Greg or whatnot, see, back in the day, back in my spam days when I was dealing with that account that posted the video that Andy blamed you for with the Nipplegate, remember that?
I do remember that. Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah, so the original account that actually posted it, back when I was in those circles, because I've been in those circles. Anyways, let's continue. I met a woman who had been friends with Mariah for several years, close friends with her. I don't know how. She would never tell how she was friends with Mariah, but they were close friends. And apparently, according to Mariah, Quad had married Dr. Greg for the money, and once the money got dry, she was ready to get out. And so I don't think she would go back to him unless he got more money than he had when she got with him. So that's my tea. I feel like that's tea that everybody kind of knows, but yeah.
Okay. Lukewarm tea. Okay.
Lukewarm tea.
All right, Alex.
Holy Ghost fire to Robin and Juan. Holy Ghost fire to who else needs Holy Ghost fire? Holy Ghost fire to Holy Ghost fire to Dr. Jackie and Curtis, who's getting it on in the Dominican Republic. Honey.
Go take a nap.
He only comes around when she's gone.
Go to sleep, Alex.
He only comes around when she's gone. He only comes around when the strippers are here. And that's real tea.
All right, Alex. Have a good night.
He wants everything but her. Anyway, child, I need to go. I'm going to say something bad. Let's go.
I can't. All right, let me get to these last couple of calls. I'm going to get out of here. O'Shea, we're going to bring you up next. What's going on, O'Shea?
Hey, Kempire. No, I'm doing well, thanks. I hope you are okay as well. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, since Robin's name came up, I don't know if you caught her and Simone last night when they said what Monica did was unforgivable regarding the whole spam account thing. And I was thinking, both of you let your husbands do God knows what, time and time again. And what Monica is doing is unforgettable. But anyway, I just had a small comment to make with regards to Phaedra and the comment about her, not getting married and stuff. Now, whether or not it's her actual reason or she's lying, I don't know. But I do think that point is valid, especially with women who have more and have, accumulated a lot. And you don't end up with like a Kenya situation, a Wendy situation. Not Wendy Williams. And the list goes on and on, Kelly Clarkson, Adele, and so on. So I do think that is important, especially if you're a woman and you have stuff that you don't, just rush into things just to say, you married just for the sake of it. And then a few months down the line, you regret everything. But that's it. Oh, also, I've been meaning to say, you are very generous for continuing to recap Huntsville. I think you're the only person who does it. And yeah, and if Carlos put like maybe 1% of effort into his shows than he does for the Bravo shows, I'm sure it will do well. But anyway, I do watch those recaps though.
Thank you.
As I'm driving around town. But anyway, good night.
Have a good night, O'Shea. Thank you. And look, Carlos has a new life as a blogger.
Oh.
Bye. All right, we're going to round this out with Kariel. Kari. What's going on, Kari?
Hey, Kempire. Hey, everybody. Happy New Year.
You too.
Can y'all hear me clearly?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay, so I just want to start off with Tony Robbins. Listen, the hatred that Juan has for you is what's truly embarrassing, okay? We don't hate you. We feel sorry for you, sweetheart, okay? Well, our heart bleeds for you and your dwindling self-esteem that dies on a day-to-day basis. I see a piece of you just die inside every time I see you on camera. And even more when that man tells you that he don't want to talk to you in the most verbally disrespectful way as possible. So instead of you sending your $5.99, your $1.99 to be over here up Kempire's butt, I want you to no, actually, you don't need no money. BetterHelp.com. It's a therapy services, honey. I think they're free. Since you on the internet, go find a therapist and a divorce attorney. How about that, Tony Robbins? Anyway, and on to Carlos. When you start acting like a producer, people will remember that you're one. Okay? We're in the year of our Lord and Savior 2024. We're in the year and Lord of our Savior 2024, and this Love and Marriage DC season that's about to come out, it was filmed in what, 2022? Honey, we're coming from Christmas 2 years ago, and you all on the YouTube streets doing these interviews and stuff, and you mad that people see you as a blogger. Be lucky she didn't call you a failing one. A sloppy one.
Keep going. No.
Be lucky she ain't call you one that needs Bravo to stay afloat. You got fired, but you still need them for a paycheck, honey. The only people that can be on Simone's neck is us, okay? Not somebody that needs to be over there getting his house together. You got Martell in your comment section reading you. How about you deal with that, huh? How about you deal with the fights that you got in-house and leave our Bravo reality stars alone? Because we the only ones that can light up her horsehair and them buck teeth. We are the only ones.
Come on.
You better stop. Okay. And then, oh, I'm so happy you ain't give us a timer because listen to me. Heavenly, baby, you told us that your mama had you in a room with no mirrors. I mean, no windows. Where do you think she at right now? I mean, sweet, where do you think she at right now? Sweet Tea ain't say nothing wrong. She is down there comfortable, honey. Okay? I want you to remember that while you have had your children, you ain't got no grandkids yet. So you out here speaking stuff when karma can be coming towards your kids. I just want to remind you of that, okay? Because when that girl told your mama to go to HE double hockey sticks last night, that should have been a wake-up call that the stuff that comes out of your mouth can come back to haunt you. It ain't our fault that your mama kicked the bucket first. So now she is primed to be, okay. Now listen, you out here talking about who can and can't have kids. You better hope that the woman that your husband is screwing to forget that he married you can't have kids. Otherwise, you gonna have another one to raise. Okay, Miss Empty Nester? Okay. And you said that Quad wanted, unless Quad learns how to shut her mouth, Greg ain't gonna want to go back to her. He like a mute. He like a mute, cute, and ain't gonna say too much. That's why he over there with Sweet Tea. You think he want that blabbing girl? She listen to me. That divorce was the best thing for both of them. Neither one of them want each other, okay? So I just want you to sharpen up your reeds. Because if we start talking about how Damon got a little young mistress out there that keeps a smile on his face when he not around you, you're gonna have a meltdown. Miss Jackie.
And this has to be your last part.
This is going to be my last one. I'm
Okay.
sorry. This is my last one. Miss Jackie, instead of you coming to the internet and apologizing about something that you truly don't feel sorry for, I need you to address why there are 2 people in your reviews for your clinic that said that they almost lost their lives underneath your care due to your negligence. And this was before all of this. These are reviews from about 2 years ago. So these ain't just people in your review section just saying stuff to say it. You out here literally ignoring women tell you that they are in pain. That ain't just something that you were saying. That's something that you're doing, and you have complaints about it. Address that, ma'am. Good night, y'all.
Good night, Kari. Damn. Whew, okay. And on that note, yes, the timers will return. Look, the timers will return. Well, On that note, that is our Married to Medicine recap. Again, the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, the Kempire LLC, our sponsors, our future sponsors, YouTube, Google, my future babies, my future husband. Just saying. Anyways. Oh my goodness. All right. Final thoughts on this episode. Shout out to our replay crew. Be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions on this latest episode of Married to Medicine. I'm wore out. Y'all wore me out today. We had a very busy day. There's a lot of content, both here on YouTube, on our podcast, Kempire, and on the Kempire Radio YouTube channel. So if you missed anything, I talk about Cat Williams on the YouTube channel. We released the video earlier today. We had our Love and Marriage Huntsville recap earlier today. We had our Real Housewives of Potomac recap earlier today. Go check those out. Go give it a like. Go give it a comment. Let me know your thoughts on all those things. Everyone have a great rest of your evening. I will see you all tomorrow for Tuesday Takeover at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. PST. All right? Thank you to our mods. Thank you to our channel members. And also thank you to everyone that sent in a super chat. We appreciate you guys. We're almost at 500 likes on YouTube. So if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. I will see you guys tomorrow. All right? We have a lot to cover tomorrow. We will talk about Cat Williams. We will talk about Christian Keys. We will talk about 90 Day Fiance, Below Deck. I got a lot to go catch up on. Talk to you later. Bye.
It's been dark way too long in this place. That bright smile long gone been replaced. From ear to ear I see that fear in your face. Tell me when the last time you felt safe, cause there's some evil people in the streets. Evil at your front door, creeping while you sleep. It's time to raise up, show that evil we ain't weak. We don't turn the other cheek, I can show you how to be strong. Come on, follow me. Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. No more running from the bad guy, I'ma stare him in the eye like, what's up? I know the journey got hard for a minute, but I ain't giving this up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. We go through bad days, hard times, low pay, high crime, pathways to a life without sunshine. I'm the lifeline. With this life, I'm gonna be the pipeline, shining in the nighttime. Bet on me to swoop down. I'ma go toe to toe. Already know that I'm never gonna back down. Bet on me to stand tall. I take on anything for my crew. Bet I risk it all. Wicked people in the streets. Corruption in the politics and the police. It's time to raise up. Take a stand against the seat. We won't take a back seat. I can show you how to be strong. Come on, follow me. Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. No more running from the bad guy. I'ma stare him in the eye like, what's up? I know the journey got hard for a minute, but I ain't giving this up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up. 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 If I get knocked down, I'ma get back up. If I get knocked down, I'ma get back up. If I get knocked down, I'ma get back up. I'ma get back up. I'ma get back up. I'ma. Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. Yeah, no more running from that bad guy. Don't worry about it. I'm right here. What's up? I know that journey been hard for you. Okay, I ain't giving up. We ain't giving up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get